Hello everyone, Dean here. So today I thought I'd review one of my favourite horror movies and one of the best from the 80s, 1981's The Burning. This is the Arrow release, which is a great transfer and great extras, 1981. A year after the original Friday the 13th, which of course Friday the 13th is the staple for slasher movies. I mean, of course Psycho started everything, but I mean, if you're talking about 80s, people mention Friday the 13th, you know, especially the old series as well. But for a standalone slasher with no sequels or anything, I mean, or fingers crossed it does not get remade, but The Burning is it's on the same lines as Friday the 13th, you know. Teenage going to a camp, having sex, you know, just getting up to all different antics, and of course a killer behind everything, you know. I mean, of course, this one stars a disfigured figure like Jason. He's called Cropsey, which is he's been burned, because the movie starts off as these teenage rebels who are at a camp. They start trying to like pull pranks on the caretaker. So by accident, they set the caretaker's apartment, room, lodge, if you will, on fire, and of course that ends up him getting disfigured, which obviously isn't good. But to have obviously that's just the scene, that's just the story, and of course it follows him trying to get you know, plastic surgeries and face grafts and stuff like that, and obviously things don't work. So of course, to get his revenge, the first part actually starts at a camp called Camp Blackfoot, and then moves on to Camp Stonewater as time elapses, you know. And of course, this movie stars Brian Matthews, Lou David and Lee Iris. He's not really well-known characters, but he does have one of the first-time roles from Jason Alexander. You probably know him from like Pretty Woman and episode of Friends, you know. Some B movies, but you know, it's cool. Like, it's cool to see how people start off, you know. I mean, of course, The Burning is a classic video nasty from the 80s. I mean, it was cut for the original UK theatrical release. I mean, the only way you could really get it uncut back then was by the Fawn EMI video release, which was fully uncut. And of course, that goes for a lot of money now, because a lot of people they're very sought after, especially those original video nasties. But yeah, I mean, just it's an all-round great slasher. I mean, of course, it's composed, and the music, the score's absolutely brilliant. I mean, you can hear a bit in the background. It's composed by Rick Wakeman, which is a legendary keyboardist of prog rock and was in the band Yes. Today I picked up the original soundtrack, which is absolutely fantastic. Great synth, creepy, you know, atmospheric. But yeah, that was a bargain today. That was only £5. You know, on the original Charisma label, so good pickup. But yeah, and also Tom Savini did the special effects. I mean, he did the special effects on Friday the 13th, other classics such as The Prowler, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, you know, and Maniac, of course. But I think his special effects work on The Burning has got to be able to do some of his best, especially the raft scene. I mean, if you've not seen the raft scene, I'd definitely go and suggest you go check it up on YouTube. You know, it's absolutely a classic of like a slasher, one of the best slasher scenes for me, because it just has over the top gore and it's just brilliant. So Cropsey, of course, is now a horror icon. You know, he's become a cult classic. His weapon is shears, which is an awesome weapon. I mean, you know, it obviously can cause a lot of brutality, you know. But yeah, I mean, for anyone who hasn't seen The Burning, I'd 100% recommend it. I mean, Arrow sale's still on, or you can pick it up online. I think I got mine when it first got released, and it has the booklet with it, which is very informative, you know. I really think you should. I really think anyone who's massive on horror or slasher, or just wants a really good, fun popcorn flick, just in general, I'd definitely say I should pick up The Burning. But yeah, just all round, I mean, the score, the gore, just the pacing of the movie as well. I think the pacing of the movie is really good. I mean, none of it's really boring, you know. I mean, it starts off with a bang, keeps carrying on, you know. It's got an awesome ending. But I think The Burn is definitely up there with my favourite slashers, and Crops is a badass as well, you know. I just thought that'd be just a quick 5 minute review, you know. Like I said, this is my first movie review, so it's a bit like, you know, I'm a bit nervous about it, but you know, I hope I've done well, you know. But yeah, I just think anyone who loves horror should definitely pick up The Burning. It's an absolutely great movie. But considering what was cut back then, you know, it's like nothing comparison to what they release nowadays. You know what I mean? With things like Martyrs or a Serbian film, you know, they're like completely extreme to this, but still to this day, I mean, in the UK, they still cut Maniac and I Spit on Your Grave. You know, they've not really released a lot of fully uncut versions. You know what I mean, like they've released obviously uncut stuff of Salo and Irreversible and stuff like that, but you know, it really just depends on what they need to cut out for the audiences, you know. But back then, it was very controversial, especially with movies like this, because of events happening in the world, as well as influences on kids. You know, it's kind of a lot of controversy. I mean, as a lot of people know, they was taking a lot of the horrors, like the video nasties, off the shelves, burning them. You know, it's getting confiscated. But it's nice to actually like finally have them all uncut, especially here in the UK. You know, I mean, I hope all the other releases get the fully uncut. You know, because I mean, just watching a cut movie, it's just pointless in my opinion. You know, you want to see the full thing. You know, but yeah, brilliant movie. I mean, I always have fun watching it. I'm going to watch it soon anyway, because I was spinning the soundtrack earlier and I just thought I just fancy watching The Burning tonight. It's just one of those movies I just don't get sick of, you know. But yeah, I definitely recommend it to any horror slasher fan. So that's my first movie review. 1981's The Burning. Definitely go and pick it up. I shall be doing some more movie reviews in the future, in the near future, and I'll be videoing my hauls, what I gave, it's records or movies, you know, things like that. But I will definitely be doing more. I hope I've not done too bad, but this is my first movie review, so yeah, thank you for watching, appreciate it.